Yo, this is Fan of the People. I think this supposed to be a recorded. You know what I'm saying? I look like I just went live though. Alright. Well, shout to Big O, shout to Oscar Robertson, you know what I'm saying? I know we always talking about what's going on with the free agency and all this action happening and all of that, but it started because of what Big O did. It started because of the case he took the NBA to court. You know, he had to settle a score. A lot of people don't understand the free agency and how it started. This is more just about an informative, you know what I'm saying, podcast right here. You know what I mean? Episode, just kind of putting y'all on the facts and everything. So the whole thing, I wanted to do this video because of the free agency. Everybody kept talking about the free agency, talking about the players on the Nets. Basically Cam Thomas, Jonathan Kuminga, Josh Giddey, all of this, action about players. You're kind of like holding out and becoming business savvy and not taking contracts they don't want. And I'm saying all of this comes from what Oscar Robertson did in the case that he had with the NBA before. Now I'm gonna read this, and then we're gonna get to it. Robinson sought through his lawsuit to block any merger of the NBA with the American Basketball Association, the ABA, to end the option clause that bound a player to a single NBA team in perpetuity, to end the NBA's college draft, binding a player to one team, and to end restrictions on free agent signings. The suit also sought damages for NBA players for past harm caused by the option clause. Now, basically, the franchise would draft you before the case, and basically you was on that team or you wasn't on no team. And Oscar Robertson had a problem with that. He had a bone to pick with that. He like, yo, if you don't want me on the team, that don't mean I shouldn't be able to go to play for other teams. But hence the free agency. So what he did is took the NBA to court for holding a team, holding a player in perpetuity. Perpetuity means you got them forever. You know what I'm saying? Contractually. And you know what I mean? He had issue with that, so he took them to court. You know, and basically he won. You know what I'm saying? He won the case. He was the reason why the ABA and the NBA didn't have a merger sooner. You know what I'm saying? Robinson lawsuit prevented the planned 1970 merger of the National Basketball Association with the ABA, American Basketball Association. There you go. The judgment. The court issued an injunction against any merger. The ABA-NBA merger was thus delayed until 1976. So this case started in 1970 or around that time, and it continued until 1976. So again, to be specific, what he did was he put players in position to make the money that they're making now, go to different teams. Imagine you on a team that don't work out, and then you not in the NBA because it didn't work out for that team. And what he did was the players that were impacted or affected by that in a negative way, you know what I'm saying, before the case, he made sure they got paid too. You feel what I'm saying? He made sure they got paid too. So, this was the birth of the NBA free agency. You know what I'm saying? And the NBA and ABA merger. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? I wanted to make this a video. I want to start doing videos. But yeah, I celebrate Oscar Robertson for doing what he did. I think he's an incredible dude, you know what I mean? And I think, what he did was kind of like, it can be overlooked. You hear about the free agency and you just think, what you think, but you don't understand that he's the origin of it, you know what I'm saying? And that's just the part that I kind of wanted to have stand out because, if he didn't do this, who knows what the league will look like. Not to mention, he was a great player. You know what I mean? He was a great player. Um, so he was the rookie of the year when he came into the league. Um, but just to give you an idea, when the Royals, when he first team he came play with in 1960 was the Royals. He got a 33,000 signing bonus. You know, and again, he's an advocate for players making money. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to make this a video so I could kind of like add the video inserts and and go to it. You can see him speaking verbatim. Um, but yeah, man, you can see he was hooping. You know, in his NBA debut, Robertson recorded 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists. That's his first game in the NBA. That's what he did. As you can see, man, he's one of the best players ever. Um, It said also, and he beat the Lakers his first game too. Nice. Uh, Robinson recorded, I think, career high 44 points to go along with 15 rebounds and 11 assists in a 124-115 win over the Philadelphia Warriors in his rookie season. Robinson averaged 30 and a half points, 10 boards, and 9.7 assists. That's what he did as a rookie, leading the league, almost averaging a triple-double for the entire season. He was named NBA Rookie of the Year, was elected to the All-Star NBA First Team, which will happen in each of Robinson's first 9 seasons, and made the first of 12 consecutive All-Star Game appearances. In addition, he was named the 1961 NBA All-Star Game MVP following his 23-point, 14 assists, 9 rebound performance in a West victory. However, the Royals finished with a 33-46 record and stayed in the cellar of the Western Division. On February 10, 1962, Robertson recorded, just talking about his stats, he get busy. We're not going to go through all that, but it's some things that are important to say. For instance, like he broke the assist record by Bob Cousy, who had recorded 715 assists 2 seasons earlier, by logging 899. So when he broke the assist record, it went from 715 assists to 899, and joined Johnny Green and Elgin Bella as the only players in NBA history with the height of 6'5" or smaller to have grabbed 900 rebounds in a season. 6'5" or smaller to have grabbed 900 rebounds in a season. This is a guard grabbing that many rebounds. Just saying, y'all talk about the other things. This is the other things. Who's doing the other things? What guard is rebounding like this and scoring like this? Oscar Robertson was one of the best to do it. The Royals earned a berth for the 1962 NBA playoffs. Yada yada. Robinson further established himself as one of the greatest players of his generation, averaging 28.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 9.5 assists. Narrowly missing out on another triple-double season, the Royals advanced to the Eastern Division Finals, but succumbed in a 7-game series against the Celtics team led by Bill Russell. Right? Just giving y'all, idea of who he was. You know what I'm saying? Under new coach Jack Mahone, Robinson flourished. Robinson led the NBA free throw percentage, scored a career high 31.4 points per game, and averaged 9.9 rebounds and 11 assists per game. This is a 1963-64 season. The Royals had achieved a 55-25 record. He won the NBA MVP award and became the only player other than Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain to win it from the 1960s to 1968. Robinson also won his second All-Star Game MVP award that year after scoring 26 points, grabbing 14 rebounds, and dishing up 8 assists in the East victory. He would see, look, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, big men. Oscar Robertson, a guard, putting guards on a map. 63-64 MVP. Who we talking about? NBA MVP. The Royals defeated the 76ers but then were dominated by the Celtics games for Celtics for all the games to one. Okay. So he was a great player. He ran into the Celtics. He lost to the Celtics sometime. I mean, 3 times. Um, the Royals. Who did the Royals become? Who's the Royals now? I think the Royals is the Sacramento Kings. Is the Yo Bobby? Where you at, bro? Is the Royals the Sacramento Kings? Robertson averaged a triple double over his first 5 seasons in the NBA with the Royals. Recorded averages of 30.3 points. Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. I'm not going to go through all of this. This is, more of what I want to try to see. But I gotta mention that he's a great player and hence all of that. From a historical perspective, Robertson's most important contribution was made not on a basketball court but in a court of law. It was the year of the landmark Robertson versus National Basketball Association antitrust suit filed by the NBA Players Association against the league. As Robertson was the president of the Players Association, the case bore his name in the suit. The proposed merger between the NBA and American Basketball Association was delayed until 1976, and the college draft as well as the free agency clauses were reformed. So not just the free agency of the NBA, but also the college draft. Both of these things are connected. He's the reason because of the case he took that with the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Robertson himself stated that the main reason was the clubs basically own their players. Black man, he feeling like they being owned. He don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Black man don't want to feel like he being owned. Robertson himself stated that the main reason was the clubs basically owned their players. Players were forbidden to talk to other clubs once their contract was up. Are y'all listening to this? Players were forbidden to talk to other clubs once their contract was up because free agency did not exist until 1988. 6 years after the suit was filed, the NBA finally reached a settlement. The ABA-NBA merger took place, and the Oscar Robertson suit encouraged signing of more free agents and eventually led to higher salaries for all players. See, this is players becoming business savvy. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Cam Thomas, Josh Giddey, John Kuminga, maybe they should be playing part of the Players Association. You know what I mean? Talking about contracts. You know what I mean? Do something like what Robertson did. You know? And then, the next, let's just talk about him and how well he played on the court. Yeah. That's what it is. That's mainly what I wanted to show y'all. This ain't gonna be. I meant to make this a 10-minute video, man. It looked like it's a live. So, it is what it is. Hopefully y'all, tap in, watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because with all of the talk, off season, I just wanted y'all to understand why all of this happened. It took a man that sees something that was going wrong, and you know what I mean, seeing that he didn't want to feel owned or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And he did what was necessary to push back against how unfair it was to the players, doing business with the franchises. And you know what I'm saying? He made sure players got paid. I seen the interviews where he said, "I wanted to make sure players got paid." You know what I'm saying? You know, shout to all of the interviews that I seen, all the research that I did. I watched Chris Webber interview him. I watched All the Smoke. You know, a few others that I can't remember offhand. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, Chilltown Hoops. I was gonna post it on here, but you know what I mean. I know, you know, the copyrights and all that, but it's a clip on Player's Choice. You can see me, you know, speak to him, and he'll talk about Oscar Robertson. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. But for the most part, you know, that's all I got, man. I just wanted to let y'all know before the season officially started with the regular season, the reason why the off season is the way it is because of Oscar Robertson. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But yeah, man, Nets fans is the best fans. This is fan of the people. I'm gonna be trying to do more of these. And thank y'all, man, for tuning in, man. Peace.